This is where all of those things that you don't use as much go in more. The one that people ask a lot about and they all want is Jamboard. Jamboard's there in more. Okay. You also have the option to connect to more apps. I'm not going to go over that today, but what you do need to know is some apps you won't be able to connect to because if you're on your district one, your district will block them. So explore that area on your own. Okay, so this is just a basic overview of Drive. The couple things I'm going to show you before we move to Docs are on Drive, you have access to all your Google apps. And if you go to this, I like to call it a Rubik's Cube, but I've heard people call it like just squares or hamburgers. But if you go to this, I'm going to call it a Rubik's Cube, you'll see you have access to all your apps here as well. So this is a really good one to get to know because now you know what your district or you as a person have access to. So you may see, for instance, on mine, I have access to YouTube. You may not have access to YouTube because your district blocks it. You may see that I have access to Google Earth. Your district may not have that, but it's fun just to explore. Take some time and explore in there to see what you actually do have. Okay. The other thing I want to direct you to is the gear, and these are your settings. And so they'll just have like some keyboard shortcuts for you. And if you wanted your Google Drive on your desktop, most people don't do that. The beauty of it is having it online, but if you did, and then it will take you to your settings as well, which you can explore. But the last thing I want to show you in here is this search setting. Google is known as a search agent. We all know that. So that's how they got their start. So their searching in Google Drive is chef's kiss. It's perfect. It's really, really good. So let's say I'm searching for something. I can search for, I think I have a weekly calendar. It's going to bring that up. So it'll bring it up for me. If I want to go a little more in depth on that, let's go back to search. So actually, let me go into, I'm going to dare and show you my search engine or my Google Drive. So this is my Google Drive. And like I said, I am an online hoarder. You can see it's just going to keep going and, oh, well, actually I have to take you into one of my folders that just keeps going and going and going. I'll take you into here. So it just keeps going and 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 going. So yes, I'm a hoarder. So I can never find anything. So let's say I want to find something that I created for SDSU. So I'm going to go to SDSU and I want to do an advanced search. So it's going to ask me what type it is. I'm going to make it, I want it to be a presentation. The owner, I wanted it owned by me. Enter the term that matches. I don't know that, so I'm not going to put that. The location, my drive. Date modified. Oops, sorry. Date modified. I'm going to say custom, and I'm going to say it's way back in 2015. I don't know. And then I can say an email if I wanted to, and now it's going to search. I don't know if I have, oh, it looks like I do have some things. So here is an ITS presentation for SDSU. So it went all the way back and found this for me. So this is the beauty of Google. And so if you are like me and you are an online hoarder, there is hope. You can find stuff. You just have to remember maybe what you called it or come close to calling it. So I'm going to give everybody just about 2 minutes to do some searching in your drive. And I am going to set my timer for 2 minutes to give you some time to play. And then just so you can get your hands kind of dirty on that. So go ahead. Okay, you have about 1 more minute to find that long lost Google item that you've been looking for the past 5 years that you couldn't find. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if any of you were able to find something that you've been looking for. Okay, yes, I see somebody, I see some people have. Good, good. My job's done. Yay, I'm glad. And does it make you feel good or does it make you feel bad knowing that things are in there from many, many years past? Sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't believe I wrote that. It's there. Anyway, all right. So this is just kind of that basic overview of our Google Drive. It's pretty self-explanatory. Always think of it as a file cabinet, but things can go lost, but they can be found again. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go into Google Docs, and I'm going to show you some different ways to get into Google Docs. So the first way you could get into Google Docs is you could go to Google and then you could just go to blank document. That's one way. Okay, so another way you can go to doc.google.com and that takes you into your docs as well. And then the last way that a lot of people don't know about is that you can type in doc.new. Just type that into your URL and that will open a Google Doc for you as well, a fresh new page. So again, those are a few ways, and that's all in the job aid. How many of you knew you could do that? A couple of you. Okay, so now I saw somebody was wondering if we are going to be, if this is Word. This is not Word, but it's very similar to Word. So that's something I do want you to know. So it's very, very similar to Word. All right. Another thing I want to show you, and this is something that as educators, I think is really good, but just as a person who does word processing, I think is really great also, is sometimes when you come to new and you don't know really where to start, every Google has a template gallery. So if you click on that, you're going to see that there's templates here. If you are a teacher, I don't know how many times I have directed students to this template gallery. And the reason is because look what it has. It has report, MLA, report, APA, 6th edition, report, APA, 7th edition. So I know a lot of students are writing reports MLA. And they're like, I don't know where to start. Ms. Gallegos, I don't know where to start my essay. So you can have them click on that and open it and look what it does. It just puts it right there and they just kind of fill in the blank. So that is a really great tool that Google offers people. If you are in a master's program and you need to write a paper, chances are that paper will need to be APA, and you can get that template there as well. So I always like to show people that. So again, where I got there was I went to File from Template Gallery. The other thing I wanted to show you is that your school district may have a gallery for you as well, and they may have templates for you. This one doesn't, but if I were to go to my work one, and I go here to new from template, if you look right here, SDCOE has one for me. So your work may have those. So just check that out to see. But that is a really nice tool that's offered to you in Google. Any of you have your students go to that at all? Hopefully some of you. Well, now you will. So now you will. All right. Couple things that I want to show you. The first thing you want to do is you want to give your Google a title. You can just click on it and then give it a title. We're going to call this calendar. Okay. And on this calendar, we're going to take a couple minutes and create just a basic calendar for you. So what I'm going to do is the way it is positioned, I'm going to change that position. So I want this to be, I want to go to my page setup and I'm going to change it so it's landscape. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I changed my paper so it's landscape. Right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a title. So I'm going to make this my vacation calendar. You can call it whatever you would like, but I'm going to make mine my vacation calendar. Everybody with me? So now, a lot of times when we create something, we don't know that we kind of need it more uniform. So I'm going to show you how to create a really quick table. But this is also good because when you create in this insert, you have this opportunity to insert a lot of different things onto this document. But we're going to go ahead and insert a table. And so to insert a table, we're just going to do it kind of basic. And there your table comes in. So on this, I'm going to say, I'm going to make this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I want to add times, but I missed that. So in order to add an extension for a table, I'm just going to go here to format and down to table and go to insert column to the left. And is everybody with me, what they're seeing? So you can start to insert. And so I'm going to put time, so morning, noon, evening, and night. Okay, so there's a very simple calendar. And this is going to be my trip to, I'm going to say it's Paris. Not really going to Paris, but I'm going to pretend and I'm going to start doing some research. So in this, what I want to do is I want to figure out what I'm going to do while I'm in Paris. And in the morning, what I like to do is I like to eat. Anybody else like to eat in the morning? All right. So what I'm going to do is I want to research where the best croissants are in Paris. So if you look here, I'm clicking on, oops, I'm letting somebody in. I'm clicking on tools and I'm going to go down to explore. If you're following along on your computer, You're going to go up to tools and you're going to go down to explore. And look what has happened. It has opened up a little side window. Does everybody see this side window? So think of that as a mini Google search engine inside my window right now. So again, what I did is I went to tools, explore, and it opened this. So now it says search your docs and the web. So I'm going to go ahead and search my web right now. So I'm going to look for croissant in, croissant in Paris. Okay. Oh, look, I can stop searching for the best croissants in Paris. So here's some information on some croissants in Paris. So I'm going to copy that over and I'm going to put it in here. But I want to be able to revisit this website later. So do you see those two quotation marks right there? I'm going to click on that and look what has happened. Let me make this larger so you can see. I hear somebody's dog. Do you see right there? It put a 1 and on the bottom, it cited it. It's a really great tool, especially if you're a teacher with students and you're trying to teach them how to do citations. So you can also, if I click right here on those 3 dots, so I came back to this web results and I'm clicking on those 3 dots, I can change it to APA style as well. Or Chicago. Everybody with me? Anybody confused and need me to go back? All right, let me also show you. This isn't enough for me. I like to see the pictures as well. So do you see it says web, images, or drive? I'm going to go ahead and click on my images now. Oh, and there's some really good croissants there. So I'm going to click on this one because I think I see chocolate. I'm going to click on it. Oh, it's chocolate and jelly. Very nice. So if you notice right next to it, there's a plus sign. Oops. I'm going to place my cursor on Tuesday. I'm going to come back to this where that plus sign is. And it's going to insert it into my calendar. So I'm beginning to build that way. Everybody with me on that?
Alicia, could you show the quotation mark citing again?
Absolutely. All right, so I'm on the web right here. And let's say I want to see where to find the best croissant here. So I can either visit the website. So this is the 3rd one down. So let's say I visit this website and I'm going to just pull this information. I'm going to copy it, copied this off the web. And now I'm coming back to my calendar and I'm going to put this on Wednesday. There it is. Now I'm going to come back to the site. This was it. And I'm going to put the quotations in. It's going to put 2. And do you see at the bottom of the page, it now has that one. Or I'm sorry, that was, 2. Sorry, I did it twice. I clicked on it twice. Is everybody good with that and understand how I did that? Give everybody a second if somebody needs to type. Let me check the chat real quick.
It was asked if you can do that again, please, I believe.
Okay. All right. So let me start from the beginning. I'll take you back from the very beginning on this. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to look for a croissant. I'm going to look for, a croissant just because I know how to spell it. Okay. So I'm going to go to tools and I'm going to go down to explore. Then I have my window and I'm going to search for croissant in Paris. You can search for anything. It's an open search window. Here I am on the web, and here the first one says, you can stop searching. These are the 8 best croissants. So I like this, and I'm just going to copy it right here. And I'm just going to get 7 of them. Copy that, put it in Thursday. There it is. And then I want to be able to know where I got this information. So when I hover over, I get the 2 quotation marks. And if I click on it, it's going to put a 4, and then I can find it here at the bottom. Everybody with me on that? It's a simple skill that you can teach your students, and they are able to actually learn how to do some citation in a very easy way without ever leaving that paper. Right? Now, one thing that I'm noticing about this calendar is that this text is different from this text. Do you see? This is Arial and this is Roboto. I've never used Roboto, but it's Roboto. I like my text to be all the same. So I'm going to show you how I can make my text all the same. And I am a fan of this text, which is just my normal Arial text. So notice this is normal text, Arial 11. Everybody see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here in Format Painter. It looks like a little paintbrush. I'm going to click, as long as I'm clicked here, so I'm clicked here, I'm going to come up and click on Format Paper, Format, Paint Format, and look how my cursor changes. So my cursor is now a paintbrush. Does everybody see that? And I'm going to highlight this right here so it matches the text that I just copied. So I'm going to highlight it and look to see what happens to my text. So the nice part about that is if students are working on a paper, they can all format the paper in the same font at some point. Or if you're pulling information off of the web and citing it, you can put it in the same format as your paper. So let me show you how I did that again. I'm just going to come down here on this page. Okay, I'm going to go, this is sentence 1, and this is sentence 2. Okay, sentence 1, I'm going to make it very different. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it feel really big. I'm going to make it red. So this is going to be an obvious change. So do you see how this is a very different sentence? It looks very different. The font is very different. So I'm going to put my cursor someplace within this sentence. It's not going to work if I put it here. It has to be someplace within this sentence. You can even highlight the sentence if you want. And then I'm going to come up here to this paintbrush, which is called Paint Format, and click on that. The minute that I click on that, my paintbrush changes, or my cursor changes to a paintbrush. And now I'm going to come down here to sentence 2 and highlight it. And it automatically changes it. So everybody go ahead and try that really quickly. I'll give you a minute while I look at the chat. Can you edit, select all, and then change font to be the same throughout? You can also do that, yes. Yes, that is a neat one. I love that one. Yep, Marisol, those are citations made easy for our students, for sure. And you can select as much as you want. Absolutely, Carrie. Thank you for clarifying that. Is that something new for everybody? And that's in Word too. And that's one of those things that's been around forever. And everybody, how many of you have seen that paintbrush and you're like, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to even try it. Yeah. And it could have been making your life easier like for 10 years before now. So that's a cool one. I love that one. All right. All right. Let me keep going. Unless there's any questions that people definitely need answered right this minute, or you're going to be very stressed out about. Yes, Carrie?
There was a refresh on seeing the images from Explore, and there was, would you be able to enter this table on Google Classroom?
You would be able to enter the document on Google Classroom. The actual table, the only way you would be able to enter it, I don't think you can make a table in Google Classroom, but you can make a drawing in or you can make a drawing and enter that. You could take a screenshot of it and enter that, but you wouldn't be able just to create a table in Google Classroom. No. And then what was the other one about Explorer?
Just one more request to see the images one more time.
Oh, how to do the images?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So images, very simple. What you do for Friday. So I've already done my search for croissant in Paris. Everybody sees I've already done that. I'm going to click on images now. You can bring the images in a couple ways. Sometimes if you want to just go fast and easy, you just click and drag. That's one of the ways. Fast and easy. If you want to be kind of fancy, you can click on the plus sign and it's there too. So either way works. It's really just kind of up to you how you want to do it. Is that good for you? All right. Okay, couple things that I do want to show you is also how you can make a link, a hyperlink in this document. And hyperlinks are really important and they're very fun to do. So because you can kind of set up for your students, if you want your students to visit certain websites or you want to get them started on certain websites, you can create something called a hyperlink document. And that's where students, you can have like preset websites for your students to go explore. And so I'll show you how you can create a hyperlink. So let's say I wanted to go to this website. So this one is one of those ones that I clicked on. It's the where to find the best croissant in Paris. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the URL. So the URL is at the top of the page and I can copy it by clicking on it. It's automatically going to highlight it. And I can use, I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to go Command C, but I can also get there. What is a copy on a PC? It's been a while.
Control C.
Control C. I could do Control C. And then I'm going to go back to my calendar. And here I'm going to say best. Oops. I'm going to click up here on, do you see that insert link icon? I'm going to click there and it's going to give me everything I need. So it says search or paste link. I'm going to paste my link right there. And then I'm going to put the text here, which is best croissant. And then I'm going to click apply. And then do you see how it's underlined? And if I click on it, it will now take me to that website. I'm going to show you one more time how to do that. All right. So, and I'll show you the search of it. So here I'm going to click on this insert link. And I'm going to actually search it right here because you could either search or paste link. So I'm showing you both ways. So I'm going to go to best croissant. And this came up on Yelp, which is fine. You're not going to get a whole lot of options when you do it this way, but I'm going to have that Yelp one, and there it shows me really quick. And if I click on it, it will take me to it. Okay. So everybody, oh, and I don't know why Jack in a Box showed up. Oh, here it is. Now that was just the ads. I was like, Jack in a Box doesn't do croissants. Now, Jack in a Box taco is pretty darn good, but I'm not going to say a Jack in a Box croissant would be good. Okay, so go ahead. I would like everybody to, if you're hands-on, go ahead and try it. And yes, I am full Mexican, but I do like a Jack in a Box taco. I know that's my mom would be very upset with me. And I'm going to check the chat just to make sure everybody's good. Everybody's good. Thanks, Carrie. Okay, how'd everybody do on that? Good? All right. Now, how many of you, or before I move on, are there any questions kind of on just using Google? We'll do some more tips and tricks, but I want to show you a couple other things. Everybody's feeling okay? Hopefully has everybody learned at least one thing new? All right, good. All right, I think I'm going to show you some other things that are new. All right, how many of you have, oh yeah, Martinita? Martinita?
Martita.
Martita.
It's not related what you just asked us, but I miss how you add the extra column at the left. I couldn't
the way I did that is here. I clicked on the table. I went up to format and I went down to table. And do you see how I have a list here? And then you can decide, I'm going to put it on the left, I'm going to put it on the right, I'm going to put it above or down. I also can delete columns, or I could delete the entire thing. All right.
Format table. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Just
all right.
One word of caution: if you already push Control-C for copying something and you have an existing table, it's going to try to put it in a cell somewhere in between.
Yes.
So you have to be careful with that.
That's very
mess
true.
up your whole table.
You don't want a table inside a table. Correct. That's true. Okay. Now we're going to kind of move on from this, but I'm going to show you a couple other things. We don't have that much more time. Time flies when you're having fun. But up here, I want to direct you to the URL. And I know all of you know this. I'm just going to repeat it because it makes me sound really smart. This is a website. It has a URL. So it is a unique website. And that is one of the reasons why people can share their documents, because it is a website. So millions of people can be on a website at once. Same thing with the Google Doc. It is a website. It's a unique URL. So I want to make sure that you all realize that. And because it's a website, you have the ability to share with people, and you can share your documents with folks. And the way you do that is you go to the share button. So the share button allows you to give people access to documents or to folders. This sharing is the same in Google Drive. So I didn't show you it in Google Drive because I'm going to show you here, and it's the same. All right. So to share, you can come here and you can add people to your share to your document. So these are people I've often shared with. I'm going to share this with Pamela. And then here I can say what I want her to be. Do I want her to be a viewer? A viewer makes it like a PDF, which is great. You can have them only comment, or you can have them edit. So all of those things you can give them. If they are an editor, they pretty much can do anything to the document. And I'll show you how you can see what people can, how they can track who's doing what on a document. The another thing that I like is you can add an expiration. So I'm going to make Pam an editor, but I'm also going to add an expiration date on that. So let's say I only want her to have access to this for a week, because then I'm going on vacation and I want everything I'm doing to be a big surprise. So I can change that and give her access till that day, till 3 a.m. And then I can add a little message to her. Hey, you, blah, blah, blah. And then I send. So that's a really easy way to share. There's other ways to share. You can also, down in general access, you can say it's restricted, and restricted means only people that you have given access to can access it. So you are in complete control of it as the owner. You can say only people in your organization. So if you're at Lemon Grove, or if you're in Carlsbad, or if you're in La Mesa Spring Valley, only they can see it. Even if they sign in under their personal Google account, they still can't get in. It's only signed in under their work Google. And then anyone with the link. So that means that I can send this link to Carrie. Carrie can send it to Chris. Chris can send it to his mom. His mom can send it to his cousin, and anybody can get it. So again, you establish the level of access people have. And this is the same across the board on all Google. All right. So play around with that and make sure that you understand that. In Drive, it does get a little more complicated because if you create a folder and you share it with somebody, anything inside that folder, that person can see. So there's no secrets. So think about everybody has access to that hanging folder, that file cabinet. All right. We don't have that much time, but a couple things I want to show you really quickly. And these will be the things that I believe are new. And if I go too quick, because we only have like 5 minutes left, you're on page 8 of your handout. Okay, how many of you have gotten a Google document or a Google something, and you are forced to make a copy? It says forced copy, and then you have to make a copy. I'm going to show you how to do that. So do you see up here in this URL? Do you see at the end of this URL, it says edit? And let me see if I can make my screen bigger. Nope, it's not making that bigger. It's making everything else, but not my. Does everybody see that edit? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my HTML skills. Not really. I'm just going to show you. If I change that to edit and change it to copy, what that's going to do now is it forces a copy. Everybody see that? So let me go back. I'm changing it back to edit. So here it is. This is just normal, but I want to force a copy. So if I'm sending this out to somebody and I don't want everybody working on the same document, I want everybody to have their own copy. I just take out that edit and put copy, and it forces a copy. Now, personally, I hate those And the reason why I hate those are because I have all these copies of things I really don't want. So there's another thing that you can do, and it's you can turn it into a template. So I'm going to show you, and what you're going to do is you're going to take off that edit again. And again, this is on page 8 because I know I'm going fast. And I'm going to type in template and type in preview. So now it's given me a preview of it, and I can turn it into a template, which means it will go into my template gallery. People can start to use it. So as a teacher, this is really great. And if you're sending things home to parents, let's say you want to send home the parent permission slip to come to the LVIC, and you don't want everybody with the same Google copy, you can tell them to, you could put in the copy and it forces that. So again, page 8 of the template. Okay, I'm going to go back real quick. Now that kind of gives us only about 3 minutes for questions. So I just want to review what we did really quickly. So today what we did is we talked about Google Drive. We talked about the different folders. We talked, if you clicked, you could see a different menu. We also went over the grid where you can make it like squares or you can make it linear. I showed you the Rubik's Cube, also known as the waffle. Thank you, Jay. I showed you the grid. We went to new. You saw how to make, or to make a new folder, you just click here, you make the new folder. I showed you how you could do a file upload. It's the same for folder upload. I showed you to go to more, you have all your items here. To doc, you could create a blank one, or you can create one from a template. You learned 3 ways to open a doc. You learned the doc.google.com, doc.new, and then you also learned just going to new Google Doc. We inserted a table. We learned all about the Explore. We inserted some citations. We inserted some pictures. We did some hyperlinks. We used our format painter. And lastly, we changed this to be copy or preview. So we did a lot in this hour's time. Any last minute questions about everything we did? Oh yeah, Carrie.
I was just going to say in the chat, they wanted to know about the recording, whether and how it would be shared out.
Oh, if you came, we'll just email, we'll send that out, where we have it. Okay, we have a Google, or not a Google, we have a website that you can visit. It's also linked on the slides. So it's San Diego County Office of Ed. If you go to educators, you'll see educational technology. And we keep all our links here, but we'll also send it out to you. So it will also be sent out.
And Alicia, we've had a question. Can we also send in that same section, send out the Google job aids?
Yes, we'll send everything out. Actually, we can put the job aid in the chat right now for you. Is it not in the chat for you?
It has been, but I think
okay, let me just put it in there right now for those of you that are like, I need that page 8. Like I didn't need anything else, but I need page 8 now. Okay, let me go ahead, and I don't want to do it for, yeah, I want to do it for that. Okay, there's the job aid. I'm also going to put in there the Google Slides, because that has a link to all our stuff. Here they are. And we also have a calendar of everything that we offer. So let me find my calendar. Uh-oh. It's probably on this side. I have so many windows open. No, I don't know where our yearly calendar is. It's not, I'm not showing it here. But anyway, we'll get that to you. All right. Any other questions or concerns that any of you may have? No? All right. Well, with that said, let me stop my share.
Alicia,
Yes.
we did have one request to see table of contents. I said that if we didn't have time, we could potentially show it really briefly at the end if people wanted to stay.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen again and I'll show you really quickly table of contents. So I'm going to go quick because the class is over and I want to be cognizant of that we have some people that need to get off. Okay, so table of contents. So do you see here, it has my vacation calendar. What you need to do when you create a table of contents, you cannot leave it as normal text. You have to give it a title or a heading or some sort of heading. So where I got that was, do you see where it says normal text? So I'm going to make this a heading. So I'm going to come here to table and I'm going to apply title. So do you see how the font changes? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my week in Paris here, and I'm going to make this a subtitle. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to make this a heading 1. So do you see how those have changed? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself some room and I'm going to go to insert. And do you see at the end, it says table of contents? And I'm just going to click. And uh-oh, it didn't get my week in Paris. It should have. Oh, sorry, applied. Let's see if that. Huh. Oh, you know why it doesn't add title. Sorry. So if I made this also, I apologize. Heading 1. Now I'm going to refresh. Do you see how it won't put the title in the table of contents, but it puts all the headings. My apology. All right, everybody with me on that? So let me go through it again really quickly. So what you want to do is you can call again my vacation calendar. And I'm going to make that, I'm just going to make that heading 2. And then I'm going to go to insert table of contents. I already have one, so it's not going to insert again. But if I need to refresh it because I've added, I click on it and there it added the other one. Okay. All right. So that is our Google for you. And our next one is forms and spreadsheet, right, Carrie? Forms and spreadsheet in October. So we hope you will all come. We hope you learned something of benefit today. Did everybody learn something? Yes. Okay, good. All right.